What's going on, everybody? Lockie from Focus Performance Training here, and today I want to talk about something that really pisses me off. That is people who think that you have to be an elite athlete in order to be a good coach. It's a load of crap. Not everyone has the ability or the genetic potential to get to the absolute elite in their sport. Cricket, rugby, CrossFit, weightlifting, soccer, tennis, name a few. Name a few more for me. Leave them down in the comments. All of them at the top most likely require high level of genetic potential, dedication, and things just going the right way. There is some element of luck in athletes getting to the elite. They put in an exorbitant amount of work, but the same people put in an exorbitant amount of work behind them and don't get to that same level because things just don't match up sometimes. And that's just the way elite sport is, okay? The harder you work, the greater your chances. I digress. If someone hasn't been an elite athlete, doesn't mean they can't be a very good coach. And just because someone's an elite athlete doesn't make them a good coach. A lot of the times elite athletes don't actually know how they do something. It just comes second nature. It's that unconscious competence. They just do it. So if someone doesn't really understand how they've done something, how are they going to coach it? They don't have that sort of underlying knowledge to be able to put onto someone who has no idea where their arms are in space, no idea where their hips are in space, no idea where their legs are in space. So how does someone who's got this unconscious, insane amount of competence coach someone who's got no competence at all? Or someone who struggles to pick up tasks and to learn? It's quite hard. And that's why actually some of the best coaches I've come across aren't actually athletes. They've dabbled in it, they've done a little bit themselves, but they love the sport and they're just so passionate. That passion comes across to the athlete. Some of the best coaches I had when I was growing up as a cricket player weren't actually that good at cricket players. Yes, they understood it. They never made state. They never made national. So that we would probably paint them with this, they're just an average player. But they were the best coaches because they spent so much time playing, so much time around the game that they could put that information, put that knowledge into you in such a passionate way. Same goes for rugby. Same goes for weightlifting. Some of the best coaches I know in weightlifting didn't actually go that far in their own career. They played around with it, did a little bit, got injured, pulled out, dedicated their time to coaching. And the same goes for CrossFit. Some of the best coaches aren't that good at CrossFit, but they understand it. They understand the movement demands. They understand all the different physiological demands that are required for CrossFit, and they can develop a sound plan and program moving forward for it. Okay, so let's get rid of this stigma that if you're not an athlete, you can't be a good coach, or that I will only buy a program online from someone who's been to the games because just because they've been to the games, that means they know something, they know what they're doing. I call bullshit. Some athletes, they do. They're very smart. Other athletes, they just do what they're told. And all of a sudden, they just regurgitate the program they've been doing for you as the consumer because apparently it's going to fix you. And I guarantee you haven't done the same amount of work that they've done, so that program isn't meant for you. You aren't them. So let's stop acting like it, okay? That's a load of crap. You need a program developed for you to develop to look at your weaknesses. You've got your ceiling, which is where your strengths are, and your floor. You need to bring your floor up to push your ceiling up higher, okay? If you don't do that, you're not going to get anywhere as an athlete, regardless of what sport you're in. So if you need help doing this, you need to look at sort of what testing do I need to look at in order to identify where my ceiling and where my floor is. Get in contact with me. We'll help you out, okay? But let's just stop, please, if you've done it before and you won't buy a program from someone just because they haven't been to the elite level of their sport. Chip yourself for it and then have a look at the program into more detail. What does it provide? What does it look like? What are the person's qualifications when it comes to actually coaching? Are they a good communicator? Are they a poor communicator? Do they understand the sport? Do they know how to research a sport and understand its physiological demands and understand what's required to be at the top for that sport? Because that's where it comes down to. If they can understand where you are and what's required to be at the top of the sport, then we can generally develop a plan moving forward from there. If they don't know where these two are, what are you doing? You don't know where you're going. How do you know how to get to Coffs Harbour if you don't know whereabouts in Australia you are? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week.